me play your essence while you scared of everything. Cause you dodge and deflect, you never stand tall. Big talk online, then you're going fans call. Running from the truth like it's chasing you down. You're the king of the vanish, the ghost of the battleground. You dodge and deflect, yeah, we see what you do. Nintendo drops more nonsense and you swear it's brand new. Every anti-consumer move you claim it's perfectly fine. Tell me, man, why does that hairline run faster than your spine?
Well, folks, coming off the holiday weekend, you'd think the influencers could finally just be honest for once, but nope, here we are again. Player Essence being disingenuous and twisting the narrative like usual. And look, I'll give credit where it's due. Yes, both the PS5 and Nintendo had a solid sales weekend holiday. Player Essence loves to shout that part from the rooftop, but what he conveniently leaves out the context behind those sales, the why they sold well. And trust me, that part matters a lot, because it's easy to gloss over the truth when you're more focused on protecting your plastic corporate overlords than informing your viewers. Instead of actually breaking down the real reason retailers were pushing the bundles, he just wants to tell you, see, Nintendo did just as well as PS5 while pretending the deeper story doesn't even exist. But before I really dive into this topic and expose what's going on, do me a quick favor, hit that like button and smash the hype button as well, because those little gestures help my channel so much. They help me continue standing up to these greedy corporations and the toxic influencers who damage control for every anti-consumer move they make, and most importantly, it helps me bringing you real, honest, fair, and never sponsored paid game reviews.
So this is absolutely massive when it comes to the Nintendo Switch 2. This was something that I wasn't quite sure what was going to happen with the Nintendo Switch 2 over the holiday. I knew that it was going to be a big seller, but with stiff competition overall, with tablets, smartphones, all sorts of different things, and the PlayStation 5 having an aggressive price cut, I knew that the Nintendo Switch 2 was going to do well, but I didn't know exactly how well it was going to do.
Aggressive price cuts with the PS5, really? That's the spin we're going with now. Already trying to hype up the situation like Nintendo was battling fierce competition and needed to fight for every sale. Come on, man, let's not rewrite history again. Nintendo raised the price of the PS5 not that long ago, so now dropping it by $100, just $50 under what it was before, that's not some heroic discount. That's not a bold strategy, that's just undoing your own mistake and calling it a deal. That's like stealing someone's wallet and then acting like a generous hero when you hand it back to them. And then there's the Switch 2 over the holiday weekend. All logic points to retailers being worried, which is why we saw those sudden discount moves going into Cyber Monday. If this thing was truly blowing the doors off the market like you like to claim, there would be no reason for these promos at all. Retailers don't cut prices out of generosity. They do it when inventory isn't moving the way they hope. So let's drop the fantasy. Stop pretending the Switch 2 was selling so well over Black Friday. Stop trying to force this narrative that Nintendo doesn't have anything to worry about, because the numbers don't lie, and the desperation discounts tell a very different story. Just stop the cap already.
Well, we've got big updates on the Nintendo Switch 2 from Amazon, Walmart, and other places. Let's first start off with the Nintendo Switch 2 update when it comes to the sales overall over the Black Friday shopping period. From my own personal sources, first and foremost, there was a lot of good Black Friday sales across the board when it comes to PlayStation and Nintendo. Both of those systems sold pretty well based on what I'm hearing so far, but it
sounds like your sources, that they even existed, are completely full of shit. You might want to get some new ones, because there were no strong Black Friday deals for Nintendo, including the Switch 2. If the console was selling so well for Black Friday like you claim, then explain to me why just 3 days later on Cyber Monday, we suddenly saw a $50 discount on the Switch 2 bundle. Let's do some basic calendar math. Black Friday is on a Friday, Cyber Monday is on a Monday. That's literally a 3-day gap. Retailers don't go from "we're selling like crazy" to "oh no, please take a discount" in 3 days unless something isn't going the way they expected. So saying the Switch 2 was selling amazingly well on Black Friday, that's not just wrong, it's backwards. The facts and logic directly oppose that narrative. Even a third grader with basic understanding of business would get this. If you're selling insanely well, you don't drop the price days later. And yet here you are, a guy who consistently brags about having multiple college degrees, someone who allegedly worked in corporate finance, struggling to grasp business 101. Those degrees are really paying off, huh?
If you look at the actual sales charts, it's interesting to see that it seems like Amazon blew through pretty much all of their reserve stock that they had over the Black Friday shopping shopping period with the Nintendo Switch 2. We did know that units were moving, but exactly how much was moving?
How could Amazon supposedly blow through their reserve units when they literally price match Walmart's $50 discount just days later? That doesn't line up with a product that's flying off the shelves. That doesn't scream unstoppable success. That screams, uh-oh, we need to move inventory. The facts are not adding up, not even close to what you're saying. The story you're trying to sell and the reality retailers are showing us don't match. It's like these influencers think if they repeat the narrative enough times, people won't notice the contradictions stacking up. But here's one thing that's very clear. The bootlicking is on full display today. The mental gymnastics just to protect Nintendo's image are wild. Instead of acknowledging the obvious business move, prices dropped because demand didn't hit expectations. Now he's rewriting the entire situation to defend his favorite piece of plastic like he's a family member of them. Sometimes the desperation is louder than the sales numbers themselves.
Across that $100 off the PlayStation 5 systems, but it seems like things went pretty well once Walmart, I think, put the price of the Nintendo Switch 2 plus Mario Kart World bundle at $450, and then Amazon price matched that. And it looks like Nintendo maybe didn't want that to happen. I think there was some talk of people saying that Nintendo tried to block the price, or I'm not really sure what happened, but either way, it was $450, and many people, even people that I follow.
Unlike him, I'm at least going to be honest with you. I don't know for sure whether Nintendo wanted that price drop or not. I'm not in those meetings, but if I had to make an educated guess, I'd say they absolutely weren't happy about it, because the way the discount works says a lot. You couldn't see the lower price advertisement up front. You only saw the $50 off once you actually put the Switch 2 bundle in your cart. Nintendo never openly promoted that discount. So yeah, I can definitely guess Nintendo didn't like that move, because it devalues their product in the eyes of the public. And this is the same Nintendo that you influencers kept preaching about. Nintendo believes their products are such high quality, they don't have to lower prices. You guys repeated that line over and over. Then when some of their games did drop back in the day down to $20, you conditioned everyone to believe, oh, that only happens when the games didn't sell well. That's the narrative you push. So logically, when we see a brand new console like the Switch 2 get a quiet $50 discount right after Black Friday, especially from a company that never does discounts, people are naturally going to assume it didn't perform the way retailers hoped they did. And this is where the disingenuous part comes in. People are going to watch your video and walk away thinking, oh, they dropped the price by $50 for Black Friday. That is flat out wrong. The discount was for Cyber Monday, which comes 3 days after Black Friday. That is the only reason why that the Switch 2 sold out, was because of the discount, not because people were rushing out to buy it. If they were rushing out to buy it, then it would have happened on Black Friday before the discount. It wasn't because it was some unstoppable juggernaut from day one like you always love to claim. So if you didn't know that timeline, or you didn't bother to look into how the discount actually worked, and you're going to still sit there and talk about sales like you're an authority, then you seriously need to start doing some proper research before you open your mouth on this topic again.
So that was huge, apparently, over the Black Friday shopping period. So I wanted to check and kind of see what was happening with that. So on Amazon right now, it's pretty much gone. Like, what you see on Amazon is that you see a Nintendo Switch 2 plus Mario Kart World bundle, and usually when they don't have any stock in, you'll see offers from third-party sellers or people selling used, and there's one offer there as of right now for $600, and nobody's going to buy that. So it does seem like they blew through all of that Mario Kart World bundle, and it's going to be interesting to see how much that is restocked, because apparently that was just for 2025 and that bundle is going to be phased out. So it's
Nope, try again, Player Essence. It wasn't over the Black Friday weekend. It was Cyber Monday, and even late Monday night, you could still easily grab one of the discounts. It didn't start selling out until the very end of Cyber Monday or even early Tuesday morning. And let's not pretend that's the end of it, because you can still order more of the discount on Amazon right now for the next shipment. So this idea that it blew through the stock during Black Friday hype is just flat out wrong. The facts don't match up. Even when he made that video trying to hype up the performance, he clearly didn't understand how the discount actually worked. He assumed success and built a narrative around it instead of checking the actual timeline and the facts. Here's the reality if we're just using some common sense and basic business practices. Retailers already ordered those units that they dropped down on discount ahead of time, expecting they'd move fast during the biggest shopping day of the year. And when that didn't happen, that's when you see a quiet price drop to get the momentum going. Because if they couldn't move the Switch 2 bundles on Black Friday, the biggest retail day of the year, then how long do you think it would take them to move the inventory that they ordered for after Black Friday when there isn't even a sale? This wasn't record-breaking demand, this was a correction. This was retailers saying we need to move these units now. But instead of acknowledging that obvious truth, Player Essence tries to spin it into a victory lap, and that's the problem. He pushes the narrative first, then tries to make the facts fit around him. Sorry, but the receipts don't lie.
Now, Mr. Paul Gale Network also lined this one up, saying that the Nintendo Switch 2 has surpassed the Wii U in sales. So for all of those that were saying that this is going to be another Wii U situation, well, I guess that's not the case, because already in about 5 months or so, it's already outsold the Wii U, and we should get those official numbers early next year where it will probably be well above the Wii U, if not multiple millions above the Wii U, but definitely at or above it, no problem. So shout outs to Paul Gale.
Most of us never thought this was going to be another Wii U situation. Nobody with any common sense believed the Switch 2 would flop out of the gate, but at the same time, none of us were claiming it would be the fastest selling console in history either. Just like none of us expected it to become the fastest discounted console right after launch, yet here we are. And remember, the influencers repeatedly told everyone Nintendo will never discount the Switch 2 for Black Friday. I agreed with it. I didn't think they would either. I didn't expect it. But guess what? We didn't get a discount for Black Friday, we got it 3 days later for Cyber Monday, and that timing is everything. But in his video, not once does he acknowledge why the Switch 2 really started selling. It was because of the price drop and because retailers likely panicked after Black Friday numbers didn't live up to expectations. He skips that truth entirely and instead plays pretend. See, it's sold out, everything's amazing. No honesty, no context, just spin. And I guarantee what's going to happen next. When the official sale numbers drop in February, they won't break out specific Black Friday performance. They'll show a combined total for the entire 3-month period, maybe break it down month to month, and Player Essence will point at that and say, see, it had a great holiday, I told you so. He'll completely ignore the fact that Black Friday itself wasn't the win they're trying to sell you. And when that moment comes, I'll still be right here, still calling out greedy corporations, still calling out toxic influencers who twist the narrative and run interference for Nintendo like unpaid propaganda mouthpieces because someone has to tell the truth. And clearly it's not going to be any of them. And that's it for the video. If you truly enjoyed it, do me a favor and hit the like button, hit the hype button, share it around, and make sure you're subscribed. I post a long video every day, and I also go live Monday morning at 5 a.m. Pacific time, where I react to the saltiest fanboys around. And also, make sure you subscribe because I'm really trying to hit 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and I really need your help. If you really want to support the channel, consider becoming a member. It's only $1 a month. You'll get special badges, custom emotes, and of course your name shouted at the end of every video. And once that list gets too long, don't worry, I will turn it into a full-on credit roll so everybody gets their chance to shine. Also, don't forget to check out the merch if you want to rep the Vigilante Fire. And as always, until next time guys, stay vigilant. And now we made it to the end where I have to read off the members of the channel. We got Koros Objective, Maximilian Pegasus 88, Mad Fox 94, Evil Rolio, Oh No Is Justin, Naria, Camero, C-Stars Piplup, J Wesby 65, Geezer Noob, Dustin 360, That PlayStation Gamer, Steven Ramy, Matthew Buckley, Johnny Bones Jones, Trigger is Groot, Ari Chaos, Blue Moon, Kasaria, Betbull Zexel, A1K300, Kawabi Asaria, Starlight Mirror, Crystal Woe, Phoenix Freestar, The More Incredible Grimlock, Ninja Pat, T-Man the Cool, Kyria Lunar, Ronan Reef 90, Shadow Dragons, Brandon Alex, Mr. Krabs, Back Edge, Nightfall Hero Academy, Vega Bard, Switch Addiction, Kiwi Kalaria, Yep That Was Me, Jake Spider Monkey, Dave C, Thomas Ember Breath, Bazaar, The Fat Man. Thank you so much for becoming part of the crew.
You can cry in the comments, but you won't survive. Like and subscribe if you feel that vibe.